Our society does not have shamans to tell us stories that maintain the real world, the world of the spirit. Not in the traditional sense, anyway. Shamans kept tribal societies in harmony with the spirit world by constant storytelling and play acting out these very ancient tales. But the shamans have not departed, nor have they forgotten us. They know these stories must be heard. They are calling to us from across the ages. Today these storytellers of old speak to all of us in stories crafted into the best Hollywood movies. It is the place many of us would least expect to find them. In order to understand as much of these stories as possible, it is recommended that the viewer suspend all preconceived ideas, cultural, religious, or otherwise, as it is very likely that they will distort the pure message that these stories have to offer us. It is also suggested that the viewer watch the movie first and try to develop his own opinion as to what it means. The movie The Manchurian Candidate is a variation of the most fundamental shamanic story of all. The name of the movie comes from a fictitious transnational corporation called Manchurian Global. This indicates that this story has universal application and influence. In the tarot, knowledge is found in the 16th card, commonly called the devil. It is more complete to include Christ in this description, because Christ is the reality. The devil is the negative side of Christ, whose purpose is to teach and point to the reality of Christ. Its sign is Capricorn, symbol of the goat fish. Its letter of the alphabet is Ayin, and it means I. On the tree of life, Capricorn is situated between the numbers 6 and 8. In terms of geometry, this means that knowledge is associated with the circle and the square. Shamanic stories are based primarily on knowledge, which means that they must be structured on the circle and the square. So our first task is to find the elements of our story so that it resembles a square. The elements of our story are found in the major arcana of the tarot cards. Each card has a variety of meanings centered on a single theme. This creates a great variety of stories that are available and have the same underlying message. The first two elements of our story are created by the equation A plus B equals 20. This means that if we want to deal with a story based on knowledge, then the first equation we need to address is 4 plus 16 equals 20, because Capricorn, which means knowledge, is the 16th tarot card. It is connected by the cosmic equation to the 4th tarot card, called the Empress. A broader meaning associated with the Empress is Mother or Mother Nature. This is clear from the many ways that this tarot card is graphically illustrated. 4. Mother Nature is opposite to knowledge, to Capricorn, as set up by the equation A plus B equals 20. We see this in the two pillars which represent this equation. It has numbers which move in opposite directions towards the center number 10. In the movie The Manchurian Candidate, the principle of knowledge is found in the land of Iraq, where ancient Babylon is situated. This story is about Iraq's invasion of Kuwait and the subsequent intervention of the United States to protect its sovereignty. Geographically, Kuwait is part of Iraq. The story therefore has as one of its cornerstone themes the invasion of Kuwait by Saddam Hussein, leader of Iraq. Irrespective of the warlike stance of Saddam Hussein, on the earth the principle of knowledge of Christ is found in ancient Babylon. It is only by looking beyond the smoke and mirrors that we will find this truth. The principle of the Empress, of Mother, is the mother of the lead character of the movie, Raymond Prentice Shaw. She is Eleanor Prentice Shaw, played by Meryl Streep. Her one mission in the movie is to control Raymond, her son, to get him elected into the White House as Vice President. As a shamanic story must have a square as its basic structure, we must still identify the other two corners of the square. These other two corners are defined by the equation 3 plus 17 equals 20. The 17th card is commonly called the Tower of Destruction. It has many meanings, one of which is the ego or conflicted mind. It is paranoid and insane, at war with everything. But of even greater significance in the context of this story is the letter of the alphabet associated with this archetype. It is P, and it means mouth, speech. So the 17th card is the card of the great politicians, the great speech makers with their double talk of hope and empty promises. Politics plays a fundamental role in this story. As the 17th card is also ruled by the planet Mars, god of war, this archetype often blends politicians with their conflicted speeches and the military. The Manchurian Candidate blends these ideas very well. The last corner of the square is occupied by the third tarot card, called the High Priestess, but also known as the Virgin. This card plays a very interesting role in this movie and is conspicuous by the very subdued role it plays. This card is represented in the Manchurian Candidate by Jocelyn, daughter of Senator Tom Jordan. She is Raymond Shaw's childhood sweetheart, but mother didn't approve, so she disappeared from the scene. Raymond didn't pursue the matter with her. The Manchurian Candidate is mainly a story of the archetypal principle of mother and not of the Virgin. A story like Alice in Wonderland describes the psychology of the Virgin or High Priestess in more detail. We now have all the elements of the square: Virgin, Mother, Knowledge, and the political military machine. As Virgin, number 3, and Mother, number 4, differ by 1, they are negations of one another. Virgin is not Mother. The same applies to the 16th card, Knowledge, and the confusion of conflict symbolized by the 17th card. As Virgin 3 undoes Mother 4, then Virgin supports or is in league with Knowledge. The same principle applies to Mother and the political military machine. They are in cahoots with each other. The Manchurian Candidate plays itself out against the backdrop of these established archetypes, arranged as a square.